paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, that's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
Were you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
That's our new intro music right there, everybody. That was incredible. Thank you, Jason. And welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody.
Master of instruments and ceremonies. Jason, with the glass banging.
He's got the cracking of the beer as part of the music there, right? He truly is a master of his craft. He will use whatever is around him to make just the kind of beautiful beats that we were treated to there.
Well, he's like a few BAC digits away from being like a jug blowing master, right?
Welcome in, everybody. It's Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin. That was Jason making the beats. Jason, how are you doing tonight?
I can't complain, but sometimes I still do.
Okay, well, great.
I'm sorry,
that's usually supposed to
were
be...
you trying to get me to say some more than that? Like, that's not a good way to kick it to me. How am I doing? I don't know, man. We were privileged enough to play some Magic the Gathering on stream for our people who enjoy watching us do that on twitch.tv/Brainstorm Brewery. We played some games of EDH because it is the best format for 4 people. And we were joined by someone who bought us a bunch of Twitch subs. So if you are someone who went to patreon.com/BSB and gives us $40 a month, you can play any game you want with us. You can play Doki Doki Literature Club or Overcooked or Chandelar, whatever.
Or
whatever
literally
you want to play.
anything you want.
Anything.
We could play
anything that subscribes to Twitch's
Office
TOS.
Simulator.
Anything
Yeah,
that
yeah, of
subscribes to
course.
Twitch's TOS.
Well, yeah. Anyway, the Twitch streams have been a ton of fun.
Yeah, I don't want to wake
People have
up
been really
like
generous.
chained to a chair with like a doll on a tricycle. Is like, oh, we're gonna play my game. I was like, man, we should have specified.
Yeah.
Why are there
Yeah, it really
stitches
should have
where
been.
my kidney used to be? This sucks.
Anyway, so that's Jason. DJ is the third host. DJ, how you doing?
I'm good. I just finished watching Queen's Gambit last week.
Did you think it was a thrilling tale of every magic grinder ever?
Yeah, I mean, it has like a lot. It has a lot of similarities to Magic players, right? Every
It's
Magic
kinda
player,
like, yeah.
every
If
Magic
every
player,
Magic player was the guy with the molestache, that would be a Magic player.
like everyone's watching, like everyone's just has that empathetic feel of like the tournament match slip, Dropbox location, whatever. But for me,
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a disconnect because there wasn't like a row of tables around the outside of the tournament room where like bad checkers players were trying to dump shoeboxes of stuff onto the board. Like I didn't get to be that. I was looking for my representation in that show as like the person who just like shakes their head at the person like I got backgammon pieces and like and like I miss like the stories, and I can picture myself in that show of like talking to somebody and they're like, I had a Bobby Fischer queen that my girlfriend threw in the snow 20 years ago. And like all that, like, you know,
you needed somebody selling, limited edition chess sets outside of the venue, right? That would have been the best comparison.
I needed to see like the Twitter feeds of the people who were complaining about like the Walking Dead chess set. Yeah. That was what I was missing from that show.
I thought the end of that show was profoundly stupid.
Fast forward to 6:30 to skip the spoilers.
No.
Which part specifically?
I mean, like
Spoilers
spoiler
for
alert,
Very end
like,
of the last episode, where
like-
she's like, I have to get on a plane to America, but no, I got to go play street chess with a bunch of guys that smell like borscht.
I mean,
Dude, I don't know.
That was clearly like fan
You missed your
service-y,
plane,
but it
you
was,
idiot. Like, what are you doing?
It was a
no one would do
fulfilling
that.
ending. Was it not? It was a fulfilling ending to the show.
No, I was like, she's going to miss her plane. You can't. It's an international flight. You can't just, I'll go later.
Yes,
Well,
you
like,
can. You can just go the next day.
That was her thing, is she
I
didn't want to go
realize
back.
this is pre 9/11 when you can just not get on a flight. I realize that.
Well, like, she didn't want to go back, right? I mean, JJ's, like...
She wanted to go
There's gonna be, like,
back.
a 5-second cut where JJ's, like, spoiler warning, whatever, but, like, she... That was her, the whole thing, right? She didn't feel
What
bound
is it
to Kentucky
spoiling? The
anymore.
fact that, like, she just plays in a park. She missed her plane.
Yeah.
That's not...
I didn't take that to be she doesn't want to go back home at all. I simply took that to be she wanted to go play some, like, chess and be with her people, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
what I'm
just I mean
saying,
it's just
but,
a fan
like-
service ending to the show, and I loved it.
She just
That's
wanted
all.
to play casual Magic. It's like...
it was dumb. She's like, she
Exactly.
loves chess so much, she'll even play it with old guys. And I'm like, no one loves chess that much.
Jason, you're being a curmudgeon here, man. Just enjoy it. All right.
Yeah, I was more offended as someone who enjoys storycraft, I think. I feel like Dan Harmon shit his butthole inside out when he saw that. I bet he could articulate better what was wrong with that ending.
All right, then. Yeah. Well, that's what I guess Jason's up to. Here in Oklahoma, we actually got snow. And that happens very rarely, right? Usually about once a year. And it was great snow, even. Like, great snow for making a snowman, building everything. So we go out and do the family fun in the snow thing. And Ben, my 4-year-old, makes a snowman, right? We make a little snowman. And it's great. We're having a lot of fun. He loves it. Okay, then later on, we're throwing snowballs at each other. Just having fun. I get a nice snowball wound up. I launch it at him. This kid, with his back to me, I'm telling you, ninja cat-like reflexes here, like cat ninja reflexes. Twists, dips, ducks, dodges, rolls, dives, and my snowball completely missed him. It instead hit his snowman right in the head, and it knocked that poor snowman's head clean off. And then my son cried.
I thought you were going to tell a story about like how he just whipped around and pegged you.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, oh, Jesus, here's Corbin talk about what an athlete his son is. And then 3 seconds later, and he cried. And I made a 4-year-old cry. He did it.
I didn't think about this though. You live up in Detroit area, right, where it's always cold
No.
and snow. Whatever. You live in that part of the country. You live in Michigan. You have snow. So what is the first thing you teach
We
your
don't have
kids?
snow. There's
in
this
the
thing called
snow?
climate change where the first snowfall comes later and later. We haven't gotten any snow that is stuck. It's rained
Wait,
a few
what?
times. We haven't gotten any snow.
I have snow on the ground right now.
Yes,
that I
Corbin,
could go
you
make
should
and
be
you- wow.
alarmed. The climate is changing.
I just
That's
thought,
very
Jason,
alarming.
literally, I thought you were under 4 feet of snow at this
No,
point.
No.
we,
I
we
thought
haven't
you
had
were
any
snowbound.
snow. We've had like one day where snow
You're in your
stuck, but other
basement.
than
I don't
that,
know.
no.
No.
We had
It's
one
been
day where
kinda
snow
cold,
stuck in
but-
upstate New York. I think
It
maybe,
rained
maybe
yesterday.
2.
Wow. All right, suck it. I got the fun
Yes.
climate now.
It's terrifying. It is terrifying.
I've got the fun climate now, he says.
I got snow. Everyone loves snow. Anyways, welcome into the show, everybody. We're going to talk about Magic. I promise. We've got some Kaldheim to talk about. We've got some more information about the set. We've got all the fun segments. And did you all know, we've really got to... I think sometimes we're doing all right at the social media game, but when we make bets and things, make predictions, we do things like eat silly gummies or hot nuts or whatever, right? Something Jason will be doing later this evening. We'll be putting up a video on the YouTube channel. You can watch him in agony. But we've been outdone because I saw a video of a man who followed up his prediction about Commander Green by mixing a margarita with Commander Green and drinking it for 10 minutes while staring longingly, I would put it, into a fire. So the bar has been
Wouldn't
raised.
you know it? Somebody in the comments was like, "He said he would eat the cards." which means you chew them. If you put them in a drink, you didn't eat them. You gotta do another set. That's how the guy talks, probably. I was trying so hard not to go into my Ed Kemper voice because
I just got to give. Look, I jumped into a freezing cold pool last January in a Aquaman cosplay, and it was extraordinarily. I think it was like 20 something degrees when I did it. It was rough. I gotta say though, it was the presentation. You know, the Christmas music, the fire. It truly struck a chord, and I just wanted to give credit to that and let you know, Commander Green guy, that we're coming for you. Right? We see where you're putting the bar, and we're gonna come for you in the.
Did it strike a chord of calling? Was that one of the cards that he had to blend up and consume?
Okay, so let's talk about Commander Green though. I mean, what do you actually should people just be buying them if they see them? What's the value? Like what should people do?
It's fine.
Yeah.
People are it's just another tool for people to complain about that, like, the value is higher than the cards that are in it. Or at least this was true like last time I checked it, but
there's no MSRP. That's what the main crux of it is. What's he doing away with the MSRP, which I guess was supposed to help the LGS, but like I think it's been more stressful for them, you know, because like it's hard for them to know how to price it. So I know
MSRP
a lot of the LGS
is an imaginary number.
Calling each other.
It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing.
Right, but it did. But like a lot of people.
But
did
if everyone knew what
right.
MSRP was, and someone was gouging it, like MSRP on this is $49.99, you're charging $120. I don't know about that.
But the number doesn't mean anything.
I mean, but it does.
It's a placebo.
It's a reference.
It's literally a placebo. It's a sugar pill.
Yeah, I know, but like, I mean, that affects consumer behavior, and you know, if you were the store, like my store, we always sold the limited run products going back to from the vaults at cost, because we earned a lot of goodwill in the community from not being the store that marked them up.
How do you know Wizards didn't just like close their eyes and like look at me on the DCI with a dartboard when deciding MSRP? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, look, I understand.
But it normalizes the price fluctuation between vendors. Like, you know who's overcharging and you know who's giving you a fair deal versus everyone has to guess, and that's stressful for a store because they don't want to get accused of gouging because they're selling a product that cost them $48 to get in for $100, and some other stores selling for $56.
They can take 5 seconds to look at Star City and eBay completed.
I mean, yeah, man, sure. It's I mean, look, I don't have a super strong opinion on this, but this did have some sweet cards in it, right? Sylvan Library, Worldly Tutor.
The Sylvan Library art is absurdly good.
Well, it's not done by Harold McNeil or Howard McNeil or whomever, so that's good.
That is good. It is nice art, though. Speaking of nice art, did you all know, if you went to friend of the cast, originalmagicart.store, you could see all kinds of great art on playmats, on prints. You could look at the Foglio portfolio, or as we like to call it, the Portfoglio. You could look at all of it. So we have the Brew Crew coupon code that you can use there. Please go check out originalmagicart.store and support them. It's a wonderful website that showcases the best art in Magic and goes back to the artists.
Because they're doing a secret layer folio.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be a thing soon, and everyone will, when you have a playmat of some of that art, people are going to be jealous. They're going to be like, oh, where'd you get that playmat? And you'll have to tell them, Original Magic Art. And they'll be like, what? And you'll be like, oh, sit yourself down and learn a lesson about the largest collection of art, probably. Who knows? But they are the only collection of art that sponsors us, and that's what we care about. Use the promo code BrewCrew. Get yourself a folio.
I'm also a fan of the Soul Ring in the set, I'll be honest. There's a million different Soul Rings at this point, and there are certainly versions that
not a green card
are probably better than this, but it is kind of cool. But isn't it, though? Isn't it like the greenest card of all?
No, it's the least green card because green is the color of fast mana, and they don't need help from no artifact. It's a strong, independent green color identity. But don't need no Soul Ring. You can cut that probably.
Soul Ring gives other colors a taste of what green is capable of.
Exactly. So if green having it too is
Puts a
messed
little
up.
bit of green into
Soul
every
Ring,
deck.
if Soul Ring's like this can't be played if green is in your color identity, that would be a good card. It's like just a Soul Ring that like it costs a red or white hybrid mana, and it tapped for 2 colors. Like this could only go in a Boros deck.
That's a design space that I'm surprised hasn't been explored more.
That would be kind of cool, right? Cards that in like if you Commander Legends 2, right? You have a series of stuff and you print cards that if X color is in your commander's color identity, then X or X isn't, and that plays interestingly with partners. That actually would be kind of neat.
They kind of did that with War Room a little bit.
It doesn't even have to be a commander thing. They've done this a little bit with like much older cards, but you can have like even just for like limited or standard, just like generic black card that would normally work really well with like blue stuff, but have it say like if you control an island or blue permanent, this costs 2 more, and like have it be like just designed in such a way that like it would want to work with blue cards, but like you cost it such that you draft it with like the black red archetype or something like. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but that sounds like something that would be fun space.
Well,
as a limited enthusiast, it sounds like it'd be fun to play with.
Yeah, think back to like I mean, this is my go-to example here. Sajiri Merfolk. It was a Merfolk that was X, but then if you had a plains, it was
the Loam Lion cycle.
Right. And I actually like that a lot better than I like. They brought back protection in M20, I think, and protection is so miserable to play against. It's just
didn't they change it?
I like the colored kicker stuff.
They did, and then they brought back protection because they wanted to print targeted hate cards for standard. So they printed like Apostle of Purifying Light or whatever that has protection from black. Jason's giving me a look. I'm gonna fact check myself here.
No, it's fine. I was just thinking I really like the colored kickers stuff from like
yes. Apostle of Purifying Light, M20 white uncommon, 2/1 protection from black for 2 mana exile target card from a graveyard. These cards would pop up in limited and they would just I just lost games to decking because my opponent had like 2 apostles against my green black deck or whatever, right? A horrible mechanic. I can't believe they brought it back. So I like the Loam Lion approach to the color matters, or like the Shadowmoor approach, right? A lot more than the protection approach. Horrible. I mean,
protection is also just horribly unintuitive.
Yeah, it's just terrible, right?
It's
how hard is it to remember that protection is a debt you owe permanents? Damage,
I get
enchantment, blocking, that other thing. It's so easy to remember just using that initialism.
Target.
I mean, that is how I explain it to people.
But your average player picks up like Black Knight or whatever and doesn't know why it dies to Wrath of God or.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
exactly.
That's been an argument since 1993.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, let's move in to everyone's favorite segment. Except I guess our Twitch audience, we didn't do a great job with them tonight on this segment, but it is Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking Bulk. The end.
Onslaught green uncommon.
Onslaught.
Creature.
What's the expansion symbol for Onslaught?
It's
like
the spider thing. Think about a fetch land.
Oh, okay. Green uncommon. Is it Chain of Acid?
Land.
No, I said creature.
Oh, okay. Is it the Elvish Brood Mage?
Bloodline Mage or whatever?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember Invasion.
Well, you should be trying to remember Onslaught, not Invasion. So there's your first.
Sorry, Onslaught. Onslaught was Onslaught the all creature set.
That's Legions.
No, that's
Legions, but they're the same block, right?
Yes. They are the same block. It's Onslaught, Legion, Scourge.
Scourge.
It's
not Bloodline Mage. It's
I do not know.
Okay. Hang on. Roll the clip. I never even said Scourge. I said Scourge.
Hey,
I'm not gonna go check.
If you're gonna mimic me,
I'm not gonna go check.
Everybody remembers it that you said Scourge.
I said
Sorry.
Scourge because I said Scourge for like 15
Scourge
years,
isn't
so I know.
better.
I mean,
It's
I
not
do think
better.
that DJ would probably know, but it is funnier to say Scourge. So I'm going to
Yeah,
find new
Scourge.
ways to make it even more
I'm
more
saying
ridiculous.
Scourge from now on. That's great.
I have no idea what this card is.
Scourge.
Okay, Centaur
Hang
with an
on.
S.
Centaur with an S.
That was a joke. I spelled everything wrong.
Yeah, of course,
You think
Jason.
I
we
don't know
believe
how to
you.
spell centaur?
What is the card, DJ?
It's Heedless One.
Oh, is that equal
the
to
green.
the number?
Oh, jeez.
Equal
If
to
you
the
told
number?
me it had
tough-
multiple printings,
It's
I
like a
might have gotten it.
star creature, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Star,
it's
power
it's a
toughness
cycle.
equal to elves. Number of elves in play. It's like Soulless One.
Yeah.
The
I
Wizard
thought that
one.
was a Legion's card.
Reckless One is the Goblin one, I think.
That's in the
It's
dual deck
clerics,
elves versus
elves.
goblins.
Yeah. It's clerics,
Yeah.
elves, goblins, wizards, and zombies. Is the cycle.
Oh god, there's a wizards one. Yeah, that's what blue needs.
I think wizard is the name. Wizards is hang on. Wizards is nameless one. Goblins is reckless one. Zombies is soulless one. What is the white? What's the cleric one? I don't know.
Anointed one, doubtless one,
Doubtless one. Okay.
Interesting.
doubtless one.
Well, DJ knows how to stump me with the old cards, so I know how to stump y'all. Here's a new one. A multicolored uncommon from Core Set 2021.
What's Corset?
DJ's looking around his
2021?
desk.
No. I'm
I don't remember a single card from
Oh.
the set. Can you see DJ?
DJ making great use of the infinite tokens there. He just put up the F6. He put up he's waving the white flag early here. Love it. Jason, any attempts at this?
I
was
don't
great,
remember
DJ.
anything from the set. Was it from this year?
Core Set
Yes.
2021.
Core
yeah?
Set 2021 is from.
Name
the-
a single card in the set, and maybe it'll jog my memory of the whole set.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave.
Tell me a rare.
I'd have to
the
look.
dog, right? Pack leader.
Oh, it's the one with Selfless Savior, the puppy.
Oh, we had a Corset
Don't
2021
ask. This is a hard question, man.
preview
Oh, there's
card.
Baneslayer Angel. Baneslayer Angel was apparently in the set.
Rattle Chains was in the set,
Azusa.
and that was our
Oh,
preview
Azusa
card,
was
so-
in the set too. Remember?
Ugin.
Oh, okay.
Ugin.
Yeah. This set that does feel like ages ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. All you had to say was Azusa.
I'm
like,
with you,
oh
I'm
yeah,
with
I
you.
did buy that.
I
did
completely
buy
lost it
boxes
as
and
well.
boxes.
Because they
Is
print.
it the vampire?
No.
Well, because they print core sets like they print cars, where they just use the year.
Yeah,
Following.
it's a cleric, and it's a creature, and the other creature type starts with an S.
That is the dumbest hint I've ever heard.
No, it's a centaur.
Oh, got him. Centaur cleric. Okay, interesting.
That's the least dumb hint I've ever heard.
But like, do you guys think I don't know how to spell centaur?
You don't anymore.
Roll the tape.
I'm confused now. Like
Roll the tape.
every token I made for the game tonight, I spelled wrong. But for some reason, everyone latched onto centaur, and they're like, "I don't think he knows how to spell centaur."
This is like Imagine Dragons, where you're trying to convince us you always knew how to spell when you never did. The answer, by the way, is Conclave
Wait, Corbin,
Mentor.
Corbin. I think Jason knows it as Imagine Dragoon because that's how he spells the token.
See, elephant. What else? Centaur. Snack. I didn't spell anything right. A beast with 2 E's? Come on.
You're not
That's
making
how they
any
spell
sense.
beast in Dr. Seuss books,
Stop
and we know
treating
you're
me
reading
like
a lot
I'm
of those.
Corbin. You guys, you're the worst. Okay. I don't know how to spell centaur. I never learned. In 6th grade, it was the spelling bee, and it was between me and a classmate, and the word was centaur, because all the words were from Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, because that was the only way they could teach the Bible in our public school. And I got centaur, I got fawn correct. I got Turkish delight, which is 2 words, but I still spelled both of them. that didn't feel fair. And then it came to Centaur, and I was like, there were no centaurs in Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe. And they're like, there weren't, but spell the word, idiot. And I got it wrong. I said S, and they're like, "Eh." They didn't even have a buzzer. They made that word with that sound with their mouth. They went, "Eh," in front of my parents. I peed. It was
like a whole Letterkenny thing, right? With like the
I couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons for years because someone's like, I want to be a centaur. And I go, no, and run out of the room screaming. So it's very traumatic in the fact that you're all bringing it up to try to get me.
Well, Jason, I appreciate that you
36-year-old man who is so far removed from that pants wedding incident that like I finally got through it with therapy. Don't mock me for not knowing how to spell centaur, all right?
Jason, I appreciate that you're comfortable enough with us
How
to
hard
share
was
that.
that? I know how to spell centaur. Can we
It's
move on
Conclave
to my pick? To my
It's Conclave Mentor. It gains you life. It puts extra counters on things. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. It's a great card. It's 75 cents. Cool. It's actually been climbing. Pick them up. Jason, what's yours?
Well, I have a card that is predicated on the fact that we have had a Kaldheim EDH deck card spoiled. That's all I'll tell you.
So
this is a
elf.
No, not necessarily. This is a gold M19 card. Remember, it wasn't just the elf deck. There was also the blue-white deck spoiled.
I'm gonna guess Poison Tip Archer anyway.
You know what? The card's actually Raider's Wake. Pick up Raider's Wake. That's climbing. Raider's Wake is 67 cents. No, it is Poison Tip Archer. Look, man, sometimes I give people some hints. I'm a nice guy. I don't pick stuff that was too recent for me to know what it is. I haven't picked any M21 bulk yet.
I want to...
Poison Tip Archers is a finisher in that.
You're not going to make me do this to you, are you, Jason?
Do what? When did I pick Poison Tip Archers last?
Yeah, it was March 24th.
March. When did I last pick Raider's Wake?
Let me check. You didn't.
Good. Put it on the spreadsheet, then you prick.
I'll
Look,
put
Poison Tip Archers, how much has it gone up since I picked it? What was its price in
I'm
March?
not going to look that up. I refuse.
Well, that's your job.
I refuse. Look in the YouTube comments. Thumbs up the YouTube video. Look in the YouTube comments. Somebody will put the answer. March 24th for today.
Some nerd, for sure.
Also, speaking of YouTube comments, I dug deep into the numbers on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
And a very, very high percentage of you who watch the video are not subscribed because we have access to that data.
Uh-oh. Big Brother DJ is watching.
So I'm calling you out specifically. You know who you are.
Watching this right now who are not subscribed, take a picosecond to click on that subscribe button.
Is that a real
that helps
unit
us
of time?
immensely. Thumbs up this video. Finger blast that bell icon. Just do a few quick things that takes you under a few seconds to do all three of those things, and those will all help us immensely.
And zero money.
Watching. Zero money. We're not asking you to go to patreon.com/BSB. We are asking you to just subscribe. But hey, we're glad you watched. And even if you thumbs down, that still counts as engagement.
He's asking. I'm telling.
Do that every week.
He's asking. I'm telling.
There you go.
I'm demanding.
Well, thanks everybody for whatever you choose to do with the bell icon. That's between you and the bell icon on YouTube, frankly. But we do appreciate you listening, watching, all of those things. Let's talk about the most metal thing to ever come to Magic.
I still have no idea what this is.
We talked about last week, the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the secret layers and how we're going to get all the crossovers, and we got metal secret layer, and we're off to the races. But you know what? It's not just the secret layers, because we don't know much about Kaldheim, but what we do know, besides it being snow and Vikings and so on, is that it's metal. Welcome to the face-melting world of Kaldheim, shouts the mothership to us. I don't understand either.
Is this I don't...
It's not this is not a bit. This is what...
Is Metalocalypse still free to watch on adultswim.com? Because I watched all of that at the beginning of quarantine, and that was very useful.
I will say some of the art that they have spoiled for this set is legitimately beautiful. And I don't say that about, I don't usually notice, but I'm just looking at the big pictures on the website. It's
Turns
really
out putting
cool.
snow on shit makes it look good.
Can't,
I wouldn't know because we don't have any snow here. And it's alarming.
Can't wait for these to show up on originalmagicart.store. But yeah, so they're also going to be sending out these Kaldheim posters that are, I guess, metal Norse mythology. It really seems to me like it's Thor Ragnarok, the set, based on this article
So
about
why
how
is
metal
Sexy
it is.
Tybalt in this set? Is that their closest thing to getting Loki in the set?
I
Is
don't
Sexy
know.
Tybalt in the set because he's the Loki? Oh
Yeah.
man, I just put that together. I bet that's why there's hot Loki in the set. Because everyone no one's even horny for hot Loki. They're just more upset about hot Loki. They're or hot Tybalt. You know, I think it's more upsetting.
No, I really don't.
I don't. This is your Shamrock Shake, bud. You're alone on this one.
Oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
thing. You guys got together before the show and conspired to make this.
www.twitter.com. There's a whole discussion about this right now. Don't pretend I made it up.
I don't
You're not going to
follow
gaslight
Magic
me.
Twitter.
I know my own life.
I don't follow Magic Twitter anymore. I removed myself from that.
The two of you got together before the show and you conspired to make something up tonight and try to gaslight me into believing it was a thing.
About Sexy Tybalt?
No, this is about the Shamrock Shake.
Oh. Yeah, we 100% are gaslighting you on the Shamrock
All
Shake.
right. I'm not going to look it up. I refuse.
No, look it up because you will see the other weird shit. McDonald's had spaghetti. I think they still have spaghetti in some countries. They had a
Sounds
pizza.
gross.
They had a thing called the McDLT, which had compartments for the lettuce and tomatoes so the whole thing wouldn't get hot and you had to assemble the burger yourself.
What?
Seriously.
This one I haven't heard
There
of.
was a No, the McDLT had a styrofoam container and it said you keep the hot side hot and the cold side cold. You had the lettuce and tomato in a little styrofoam thing and you would put it on the burger at the last second. I swear this is true.
Was this an equation they ran to determine how much they could save by the labor cost?
No, because people were like, my lettuce is hot. I don't want this sandwich because my lettuce. And they're like, fine. We'll keep
But
your
they
sort
still
of
save they still have to save a significant portion on burger.
Maybe that's why people are like, you just take the McDLT container and hand it to the person at the counter. And they're like, what? He's like, my sandwich seems to not be assembled.
That's
I
like
didn't
a
realize
Ron Swanson thing.
Should I clock in before I put this together?
That's definitely a Ron Swanson bit, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you're right. That's Kaldheim.
I forgot
is
my
exactly
apron
like
today.
that.
I didn't realize Janice put me on the schedule. So why don't you put my sandwich together?
Anyways, we don't really know anything. We don't really know about anything about Kaldheim. We don't know why it's a metal thing. I'm telling you, they were designing this right after Thor Ragnarok came out, and they said, that sounds cool. That's a neat Norse aesthetic. Let's do it. And you know what? I'm here for it.
Thor Ragnarok?
I hope we get our Thor crossover. I want my Thor Godzilla card. That would be cool. Anyway, set doesn't come out until we'll get the first round of previews next week. Or rather,
Why?
I guess this week, and
Why?
then the set
Why?
comes out right after the new year.
I don't need more previews. Jesus, we literally have had 2 weeks off. 2 weeks since the last preview season. Can 2020 just take a break?
Welcome
Can you just
to Magic these days, Jason.
pump the brakes? We had to program 1,500 new partner combinations. And you're like, oh, well, here's some metal. You stupid idiots. Can we stop? It's always preview season.
How dare they print so many cards that people want and want to get previews for it? But
Remember there were two
I
sets a
feel ya.
year? I remember that. You remember when
Well, look, here's the
Mirage
thing, the
came out?
reality-
We're like, holy Mirage, we weren't due another set for 3 more years. They're like, whoa, 2 in a year. 2 sets in it. And guess what? 6 months from now, we'll start previewing Visions. And you're like, whoa, my mind is blown. And now they're like, open up, here's your funnel, because here's the content train, choo-choo, and you're like, that's a pretty big funnel to jam in my mouth. They're like, oh, this funnel ain't going in your mouth. All aboard!
That's how we get preview
That's what
cards
2020's
right there.
felt like.
Thank you. Yep, for sure. I mean, to be fair, the set actually doesn't come out until the end of January, but they're going to give you this kind of a Christmas preview. So,
Yeah, 6
or a
weeks of
holiday
previews.
So,
on the first week of previews, my true love gave to me
Jason, make
a
this.
really
Make this
disturbingly hot
YouTube
tibble.
video. Jason, please, when this cast is over, think up your 12 days of magical Christmas. Spend 60 seconds recording that and let us put it on YouTube.
5 soul rings.
So before every episode of Brainstorm Brewery, we really rack our brains. We think, what is the best content we can bring to our listeners this week? What is the most important, impactful subjects worth talking about? What can they just not hear without? And it turns out there was actually some news. There was some eBay shipping changes that were made. And we, before the podcast, when we were talking about what to say on the show, we didn't really remember this. It slipped our minds. We were having fun making some after hours and so on. But then I go to the MTG Finance subreddit, which was started by our friend Jason E. Alt here. And I'm looking for ideas. I'm like, make sure we're not missing anything. And I see a post how eBay shipping could be a game changer. I'm like, this is a great topic. What do you all think maybe we should talk about this? And then I look and I see that this post was made by Jason E. Alt, who then forgot about
Corbin, I was wrong. You're not the bus driver that gets shot. You're Dennis Hopper, and I am Dennis Hopper's gold watch because you just threw me underneath the bus.
And while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and tell us what is going on with eBay and what they did and what it could mean for everybody here in the Magic Finance industry.
eBay, or Electronic Babes, as it prefers to be called as its full name, is a website where every purchase you make, a couple cents goes to Elon Musk. If you like to sell on Electronic Bay, you must really like taking grainy cell phone pics of your Magic cards, even though saying, hey, near mint Sarah Angel or whatever is descriptive enough for anybody, but they just really want to make it a pain in the ass to sell on their platform. And,
Sure.
Their customer service, they don't really side with the sellers all that often. So that's why I stopped on eBay, but it's possible that eBay has changed up enough things that it could be more attractive again. So they know that people are getting into selling the crads. Somebody just sold a graded PSA 10 Wayne Gretzky rookie card for 1.3 mil. Pocket Man's cards are hot again, and every week they get 47 emails from Dan Bach complaining about how hard it is to sell stuff.
Also true.
So with all those things combined, they're like, hey, what if we made it less of a pain in the dick to sell Magic cards? So they have a new policy where they will offer basically PWEs with tracking for under $1 for cards that are valued under $20. So they're calling it the eBay Standard Envelope. It's a low-cost service via eBay labels to securely ship single ungraded trading cards priced $20 and under. This is going to be a huge savings on your shipping. No longer will you have to put a $5 card in a padded envelope. You will be able to ship with tracking securely for much cheaper. I really don't know if you're still going to do it on $1 cards, if you're just like, yeah, whatever, keep it. I'm just going to put it in the, the PW with the forever stamp on it. Some people are doing, I put additional 15-cent stamp, but they do sell non-machinable stamps. They call them butterfly stamps. So I have two stamps. I have two stampers. Mm-hmm. One with my address on it that I stamped the corner of the envelope, and one that I stamped non-machinable on. So for when I was selling on eBay, a PWE was fine. PWE meaning plain white envelope, sorry. Mm-hmm. Plain white envelope, top loader in there, forever stamp, maybe a 10-cent stamp if you have more than one card in a buddy bag with the top loader. That system worked fine. However, I feel like lately on eBay, scams are up. People are being like, oh, I didn't get the card. Prove I got it. So I think if you're selling like a $15 card, being able to ship it tracked for under $1 and not have to pass all of the $3.50 or whatever it costs, to with the padded mailer and the tracking and all that junk, not having to pass that cost on or eat that cost is attractive. So I think this could make eBay a little bit more attractive, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
I mean, what I would say, and DJ will be able to chime in with probably some more specifics of how this compares to selling on TCG, but I would say that when it comes to the platforms you sell on and the shipping you use and all these options, it seems to be that it's really tailored to each person's individual business, because there's a difference between the person working by themselves out of their home shipping cards, what works for them financially on their margins and what doesn't, could be very different than the store running singles sales, looking at paying their employees to list the cards on eBay versus TCG Player, right? So those situations can vary different, and even people just based on where they live sometimes and so on can have just really different sort of underlying financials. So I would say that I wouldn't make a hard proclamation either way. I think each person should most certainly go look at this, research it more, but dig into the numbers on how it works for you. And don't just take sort of the conventional wisdom, whatever that is, because it can really vary. So, DJ, what is your take? Is this something that you are looking at moving to?
I personally think that the value will still be higher to sell on TCG, specifically because I personally don't track anything under like $40 to $50. Like,
right.
It gets a little awkward when it's like a $49.99 card or whatever, because there's some cards I just list for $49.99, and then TCG Player requires tracking at $50.00. So like, if I sell something for $49.99, I'll probably track it. And that can change if it's like a play set of $12 cards, I'm less likely to track it, just because there's like different buyer expectation there too.
Right.
In getting your one $50 card tracked versus your four $12 cards. So I generally PWE everything. And when I sell on Twitter, I PWE anything under 100. Like my Twitter social media policy is like, if it's under 100, I'm PWEing it. Like, people are like, you shipped me a plateau and it was PWE. I'm like, yes, I did. And if you didn't get it, I would ship you another one. Just because like the return on those is so like the number.
I've had one Twitter sale go missing ever.
Yeah. Like, it's significant.
It was a copy artifact, and that stung a little bit, but like it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you're just playing the odds at that point. But so you're not, for instance, trying to double list across or move some portion of your inventory over to eBay because this isn't a game changer for you.
Right. I'm not Crystal Commerce inventory syncing across TCG, eBay, Amazon, and my own store. Yeah. I'm just listing on TCG and doing social media sales and other buy listing avenues and stuff like that. So like, if somebody is very, very inexperienced selling Magic cards, I can see where eBay is the preferred option for just like, I have a deck list worth of cards and I want to sell it. I can see them doing that. Especially, one of the benefits of eBay is that their shipping label printing process, even before this, was much more streamlined. So you just like hit a button and then print the label, and then all of that was taken care of. Whereas if you sell on TCG Player and you're less experienced, I've seen a lot of like orders where I bought a card on TCG and then it's like, oh, I can tell they paid $6.70 to ship this at the postal office when they could have printed a label from home for $3. So like, I've seen a lot of inexperienced sellers on TCG go that method, and eBay is a lot more shipper friendly. To just hit that big red button that says print label, and then it goes immediately to them, and then you pay the label or whatever. I can see where this is helpful for that one person who's like, I gotta sell my Shocklands and I don't want to get scammed. So like, there is a niche for this, but I do not think it applies to the majority of people who have some experience selling a Magic card.
I think that's a pretty good breakdown.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, Pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
All right. Well, then let's do pick of the week before we get out of here. I'm going to go first. I want to talk about Modern. And forgive me.
Format?
Kind of. It's been coming back, as it turns out, in terms of I don't know if fun is the word, but like the decks seem to be sort of hitting a point where you can play a wider variety of things than you could 6 months ago or a year ago. I don't know. Modern finds a way, I guess. But I think that when the pandemic is over and, vaccines are rolling out across the world, it was approved in the United States where we're located. Not soon, but 6 months from now, 9 months from now, a year from now, sooner or later, the world is going to come back together and people are going to play Modern again. And Goblin Guide is $3. There's no way it's not a $5 card, right? Like Goblin Guide and Double Masters is $3. And I just think that that's very cheap. I think that card is, if it's not a $10 card, it's certainly a $5 card. But the reality is before the reprint, it was a $10 card, right? Before the reprint, before the pandemic. I think that Modern is probably going to bounce back in a big way when events start happening again. And Goblin Guide is going to be right there with it because Goblin Guide has not been outclassed yet. All right, Jason, what do you got this week?
Well, like I talked about before, maybe last week, I think on the basis of the new EDH deck, I think there could be some demand for like the new elf card, and I think it's very similar to the Nath of the Guiltleaf decks.
Right.
But if you look at, I like stuff that's in a lot of decks that are like played recently, and Tiny Bones is also playing this card. Tiny Bones is coming down in price finally, with targets have gotten a second wave of the Jumpstart stuff. So once Tiny Bones becomes like a $15, $20 card, I think people will, maybe resume building what is basically a pretty boring deck. But yeah, whatever. Croxa plays this. Rankle plays this. I mean, it's not played a ton, but it's across a bunch of different decks, and I think it could be played more in the future. But what really drew me to this card was the fact that it costs more on TCG Player than on Card Kingdom. Anytime a card costs more on TCG Player than Card Kingdom, I immediately go check and make sure Card Kingdom isn't sold out. The card is Necrogen Mists. It's currently $8 on TCG Player and $7 on Card Kingdom. TCG Player is a market where people compete with each other. There's a race to the bottom. The
Right.
algorithm is based on the last sold listings, as opposed to like the listed medium, so someone can't go list a card for 10 grand and bring the medium up. So with all that in mind, a card being worth more on TCG Player and selling for more than it's selling for in Card Kingdom kind of lets me know that people are tuned into this card, tuned in. They are playing the card. I think Necrogen Mist is a $10 card waiting to happen. Card Kingdom still has $7 near mint copies. I always check if it's cheaper on Card Kingdom. So that's a red flag to me. If you're on EDH Rec, it shows both prices next to each other. If the price on TCG Player is more than the price on Card Kingdom, go to both pages and make sure that information is up to date and accurate. And if it is, I kind of think that Card Kingdom will pop soon. And when Card Kingdom pops, they raise their buy price. And when they raise their buy price, sometimes you can arbitrage the cards right back to them. You buy the card for like, $5 on TCG Player, and then it goes to like, 10 on Card Kingdom, and then they start paying 6, 7 for it. And like, you made money just waiting, So I don't think I'm going to want to arbitrage these Necrogen Mists, but I went to an LGS last week that had 5 of these in a binder for $3 each. So like,
Well, that's
this is a card that's it's popped relatively recently, and I think it's not done based on the price imbalance between those two sites.
It looks like it did. It went up, but since then it seems to have sort of steadied. Like it had the fall from the peak, but it's steadied out again. So you're right; it could be primed, possibly again if people really flock to those kinds. I play that card
And
in
that was
Bolas.
that
It's
was
pretty
Tiny
fun.
Bones that jacked it up the first
Yeah.
place. All those $3 copies in the binders, got bought up, and then
Right.
they got concentrated in the hands of dealers. So like when it spikes again, no one's going to be able to buy those $3 copies.
Well, and there's not very many people looking at binders right now to even get them out in the first place. So it's just not going to be that many available.
So the
DJ?
available copies are on TCG Player, where they're currently
Right.
a little overvalued.
Yeah. All right, DJ, what do you got?
So, Snow as an archetype was most recently reintroduced in Modern Horizons.
Mhm.
And it's sort of always, even ever since it was printed in Ice Age, it's always had this like weird, awkward thing of like snow lands are technically better than basic lands because there
Right.
not some like absurdly strong 2-mana destroy all snow permanents like hate card to justify not running snow lands. Like it has always been marginally statistically better to run snow basics or even just like a mix of.
Mhm.
There's no way to like counteract that. It's just like you can run your full art fancy super cool guru basics or any kind of super cool basic whatever, but like snow lands are just better from a purely factual like
Right.
if
Yeah,
you
it's
erase
just
all the
if you're playing the percentages, you're min-maxing, they're better.
yes. And I don't think that changes anytime soon. I don't think that the way Wizards designs cards, they are going to introduce any sort of like, 1-mana enchantment, snow permanents don't untap. I don't think that card is coming. I don't think that is how they want to like take design going forward. And so
I mean, it kind of sucks, right? Like, it
yeah.
kind of sucks that they just invalidated, because people express them. This is like sounds silly to say, but it's true. People, including pros, express themselves through the lands they play, whether it makes them feel more comfortable. They just enjoy the game more if they get to play the lands they want, and they don't get to if you have to play snow basics.
And yeah, I mean, you don't have to.
But like, if we're talking
there's the
about like
spiky,
people
there's the
playing
spiked
in a
argument, blah blah blah.
I'm playing in
Percentages.
a tournament, yeah.
But I do like snow cards in general going forward just because of that. And Dead of Winter is specifically like the Modern Horizons exclusive one that is literally $1 that could be as powerful as something like Toxic Deluge has been in the past.
Dead of Winter is a cool card.
It's cool. The art's great. Obviously,
Yeah.
Zach Stella did an amazing job on it. It feels very like
Wintry.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it's just one of those perfectly named cards with
it's
perfect
great.
flavor text and just everything. But the fact that it's $1 in a world where like it's always going to be this like better than Black Sun Zenith sort of just powerhouse of a wrath that could see play in Modern very, very easily. As Modern Horizons continues to fade, and
Right.
like we're almost certainly getting Modern Horizons 2. The chance of it getting reprinted there is very, very low. They would probably revisit some other non-snow archetypes.
Yep.
It's just, I think this card is a very, very likely candidate to like be just $4 or $5 one day at the very minimum.
I think I'm a little scared off just because it feels like we've seen a lot of really cheap Modern Horizons cards. Like I'm shocked that Dead of Winter is under $1 right now. It's $1, right? Like that still shocks me even now. But I'm with you. Like the set's going to get further and further away. There's plenty of value at the upper end of it. And I think some of that it will begin to seep down to the lower ends as
what
well.
could
So
give
I'm
all
with you.
snow stuff across the board a boost is an extra planar lens reprint. And I think that's due.
Also,
And if
true.
extra planar lens did get a reprint in some sort of supplemental commander product, all of a sudden people want to reevaluate whether they want to run snow basics in their deck.
Yeah.
If you,
And
so
for
the
what
reason to
it's
run
worth-
snow basics is in commander you have a bunch of other players. So what you do is you imprint a snow basic on extra planar lens instead of a non-snow basic because it has a different name. So like if you're running mono red, the other red player doesn't get to tap their mountains for double, just you. So snow basics are used to kind of hose the other players in the game and give yourself a mana doubler. I think extra planar lens is a little prohibitively expensive right now, but if it did get some sort of reprint or functional reprint, something that brought the price down and made people want to do those snow shenanigans, then all of a sudden they go through, they're like, well, if I'm playing red, maybe I want Scred, and Dead of Winter is a perfect card for a deck like that. Some mono black deck with extra planar lens, where all of a sudden,
yeah.
If I wasn't playing alpha swaps in Gonti just for the fact that I'm playing alpha swaps, if I wasn't doing that, I would play snow basics in Gonti and I would play Dead of Winter.
Yeah. And the thing is, I actually think the card could, I mean, maybe not, but it could even like pop in Modern if they get more snow stuff, right? Or because there's a lot of, I mean, Dead of Winter is very good, and like
a bunch, right?
There's already like these like Bant snow decks kind of already exist in Modern, like that's already an archetype. So Sultai Snow could be a thing, and Dead of Winter could easily spike up, not just on the power level, but on a competitive level in some future where we play Modern again. All right, well, that was a great episode, guys. We actually got a lot of content recorded tonight between the stream, the after hours we put in here, and this episode. Everybody, thank you for sticking with us. This was a great night. Anything you guys want to touch on before we get out of here?
Spicy gummy soon.
That's right. We're doing that.
We're gonna do that tonight. Yeah. Check out YouTube. We'll be recording another video tonight where I will do my penance for saying that Thrasios would not be printed in Commander Legends. And then it wasn't. It wasn't in Commander Legends. Thrasios is not in the set.
Look forward to that on the YouTube. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We are Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.